Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Surge T. In this video I will be talking about Friday Night Smackdown for the month of May 31st, 2024. As of this recording, it is now June, so first and foremost, happy June to everybody. We're now in summer. Hope you have a fun one. Now, let's go into my review, rundown, whatever you want to call it, for Friday Night Smackdown. It's coming to us from Albany, New York. And the Bloodlines Tama, Tonga and Tonga Loa will be teaming for the first time in WWE. We haven't seen Tonga Loa compete at all. And they'll be facing off against the Street Profits tonight. Now, we see Nick Aldis in the ring. And he introduces the new Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. And the crown is on the podium. And then Jax takes it and places it on her head. And the crowd chant, "You suck." And she kind of shrugs that off, and she wants us all to know that she is our queen. And as our queen, she gets a title shot at SummerSlam, and she demands Bayley come out to the ring now. And as she's walking down the rampway, from behind she gets blindsided by Piper Niven with Chelsea Green in tow. And are these ladies in cahoots? Is like this her new Queen's Court, or what do you want to call it, that's going to back her up? And no, they're not. And Chelsea reminds the Queen that Piper will be champ before SummerSlam. And while Nia isn't phased, because no matter who is the champion, she will annihilate them. Get it? Annihilate. The name of her move. Get it? Now, speaking of Nick Aldis, later on, AJ Styles is in his office, and he would appreciate a chance to address his future, and he wants to do it in the ring, which Aldis agrees. And what does AJ have to tell us? Retirement? Maybe. Now, DIY come to the ring, and they are in one-on-one action. Ciampa will face off against who's that? And in the trainer's room, Naomi isn't gonna stand for Bayley being jumped by Piper and Chelsea. And she asks Bayley, "Are you ready to fight?" And Bayley looks to the trainer and she says, "Am I good?" Then the trainer says yes, and Bayley is ready to mix it up and fight in tag team action with her best friend, her BFF, Naomi. Now on to the match, and it's Austin Theory, who has a history with Gargano as a member of the Way, and he is facing Ciampa. But I am sure he has given some advice to Tomasso about his former protege. And Ciampa does catch Theory with a dropkick as Theory rolls into the ring. You know, he does that thing where in between the ropes. I mean, him and Waller have the same type of entrance, obviously, before they perform a move. And then off the ropes, Tommaso Ciampa connects with a clothesline. It's a back and forth action as Theory puts Ciampa down and nearly out with a near fall and doesn't quite connect with A-Town down. And both men connect with dueling boots, and both men are knocked down. And as Waller is jaw-jacking the commentators and drawing the attention of Theory, it opens up for a roll-up from behind by Ciampa, who gets the pinfall and a possible title shot. Maybe. We will see. See, this is the thing I'm talking about. That type of a roll-up is actually does make sense for the person to get pinned. That's by surprise, not one-on-one and facing off, and then the person just gets a roll-up, and the person should be able to kick out, but the person doesn't. See, makes sense when it, when it matters, when it's supposed to be, not because it's just a crutch move. Let's just get this move over with. Let's get this match over with, I should say, and just do a quick roll up. Now, In Aldis' office, man, Nick Aldis is being very busy. A lot of people visiting him during SmackDown. And we see Blair Davenport. And then Naomi pops in and asks for a match against Chelsea and Piper. But, you know, Blair Davenport, she takes offense to Naomi just barging in. You know, Naomi doesn't mean any offense and normally would introduce herself and ask who she is. And so, and then, excuse me, I'm kind of, and then she is, I'm telling you, sometimes the notes I take, you know how when you're typing, and then auto check, and then so usually I, what do you call it? I do, what's the word? I do check my spelling to make sure that it's, you know, because auto check really is, you could be typing me and then it puts Melissa, or you put, you know, you, and it says yourself. I mean, it's just like, and I usually look at and check, you know, but pretty much Davenport does introduce herself and says that, and tells Naomi who exactly, you know, that she will know exactly who she is. So I'm thinking, a future one-on-one match perhaps. I can get with that. And then Aldis tells Naomi that, you know, she's not making any friends, but she does get that match. It is approved by Aldis. And so later on, they'll be having their tag team match with the Troublemakers, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And then LA Knight comes in. Yeah. And kind of has a couple words traded with Naomi. I don't know if he said that she's looking fine or she's looking good or something like that, because I can understand if he says that, because Naomi does. She always does look good. And he asks, AJ isn't retired, is he? And then he goes, well, we'll just find that out later on, will we? He then asked about Logan Paul and where he might be. And the screen fades to black as they both take a seat on Aldis' couch. Now, Night, as we come back from break, or SmackDown comes back from break. I mean, I wasn't on break. You know what I mean. A scene coming out of the GM's office, and Kayla Braxton approaches him and asks him, you know, any update on what he and Aldis talked about, and, you know, calls her Nosy Nelly. I mean, not really Nosy Nelly. She's just doing her job, but that was funny when he said that. And he says, let me talk to you. And he says that Logan isn't here tonight, then he will get the answer he needs and wants that U.S. championship. And then Carmelo Hayes pops up, talking about Nosy Nelly, always sticking his nose in other people's business. And then both men jab back and forth, and Melo says that Knight talks the talk, but he, Carmelo Hayes, walks the walk. And then Knight calls him trash as he walks away. I mean, there's a build-up right there between those two. But I like the fact that they're kind of planting the seed of LA Knight, you know, possibly having a United States Championship, because that'll be his first title. And that's going to launch him into the world title picture scene. But we'll see if that's where it goes. Then Apollo Crews is all confident and talking loud, but he's facing Andrade, and who is Crews? Oh, I know who he is, but where has he been? Oh yeah, the guy who's been serving baked beans in Titus's catering. I hope Andrade makes really quick work of Apollo and he goes back to catering, because face it, Titus needs someone to help, you know, serve those beans on the line, the serving line. Now, in an earlier backstage footage, Angel wants to welcome Andrade into the Familia, into Legado del Fantasma, but Andrade says thank you, but no thank you. And then, this is during the match, but before I get to the match, what is up with this type of writing? The whole thing, remember that what do you call it? That vignette? He talks about the fact that he don't need nobody. He doesn't need to follow anybody. He's the one that is control of his destiny. He doesn't need people around him. And then yet they're writing that Legado is what do you call it, is courting him. But then at the same time, you see some tension there now building up between, you know, what do you call it, Andrade and Santos. So this is probably the next feud. I don't know where they're going with Legado. They got a great group, great looking people. They gel with each other, but it's like, where are they going? Is it just going to be haphazard booking with Legado every time? It always seems it's within the luchador community. How about they go against someone else outside of that? That's like a crutch for WWE. You know, let's keep the luchador, the Mexican wrestlers going, and let's let them face somebody who they're familiar with. Like, they should try to branch out, because it's getting old after a while. I mean, what, LWO, and then now Andrade, you know. Now, let's go to the match. And as it's going on, Angel distracts Andrade, who connects with an enziguri and drop kicks El Idolo off the ring apron. I mean, that is Apollo Crews doing that, not Angel, because there would be an automatic disqualification, right? But in no time, Andrade gets momentum back in his corner and nails Crews with double knees in the corner, but Apollo kicks out and does get a little momentum on his side, but Andrade hits that spinning neck breaker. And he gets the pinfall and the win, and the rest of Legado come out. And why are they even trying? Like I said earlier, Andrade has said, like I said in the past, he doesn't need anybody, and he does show them that he doesn't need them, as he just walks right through them. And then that's, like I said, you could see Santos pretty much saying, "How dare you just walk by us and not say nothing? You want to ignore us? Okay, let's just get to it. We know they're going to have a feud. We know we're going to have a match or something like that. Stop, dangling like you're dangling raw meat in front of a lion. We want it. We want it already. Just give it to us. We don't need all that all that foreplay and all that build up to the to what's going to happen. Let's just get it over with." I think Andrade needs to have something better. Something more meaty, something more like palatable, and something that's going to be to his advantage in his career, you know. Because who are Legado in the end? Who are they really? Is there a real momentum on their side? Has anything been done to like justify them being in a possible feud with someone on the level of Andrade? Together they're strong, but individually, even with Angel and Berto, who are a great tag team, yeah. Same thing with Elektra Lopez. We'll see. But I just don't see nothing with them right now, because it's just like there's nothing to any of the feuds that they've ever had. Great matches out of them, but that's not, like I've said, that's like with AEW. You can't just book good matches and then not have a story behind it or something to be behind them. Look what they're doing with with the Final Testament now. They're starting to really, really book them smart now, and making Karrion Kross look strong. Very intriguing. I'm very interested in what they're doing with the New Day now. So we'll see how that goes. Now, we see Solo Sikoa, who talks to Tama Tonga and not Toa Leona, that's the guy in AEW. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And he wants them to send a message in their match with the Street Profits. If you heard that, Bug Zapper got one of those annoying fly or something that was flying around. Good! You know what I mean? You have those things that's buzzing in your face. Like that. And then when you hear that, it gets me. It scares me because it just happens without me knowing. I'm like, oh, and then I'm happy. I'm like, yes, the fucker is gone. One less bug to annoy me. Anyway, it's summertime too, so they're gonna be coming out in droves now. That's gonna be going off a lot, and great. Getting bit too much, I want my skin to relax and be able to heal and stuff like that. Fucking punk ass bugs. But anyway, there's that, And then Heyman reminds Solo that violence has had its place even when Roman approved it. First, it required counsel, but lately those acts of violence have been random with no strategy, and that has to be, because when Roman comes back, they have to have Cody in check. As we hear, we want Roman chants echoing through the arena. Like I said, when he comes back, he's going to be a big baby face. I don't think they're going to have him be a heel anymore. And then as Solo rolls his eyes, because as Paul Heyman's speaking, Solo's like, I don't want to hear about Roman. I don't want to hear that. This is my bloodline. Even though he said that he is the interim, pretty much, right? He didn't say the interim, but he is the interim tribal chief. But deep down, he's hungry for power now. I think ever since that Roman told him that he was the heir apparent to the tribal chief, it kind of bloated his ego, and that he wants it. It's just like in gangs, it's just like in mafia movies, the one guy who's the underboss or the underling, that guy, the capo, and he's just waiting for an opportunity to turn on the mafia boss, It's like that. And then he tells Paul Heyman that, wise man, we got Rhodes in check. He doesn't even know it yet. And then Heyman asks, who's we? And then KO's music is heard. And then Solo tells Heyman that he has a strategy for him. And then we get an emphatic, go out there and fix it now. And when he says now, you see Tonga Loa and Tama and Tonga slowly come into the picture, and they're looking at Paul Heyman like, that they don't like Paul Heyman, dude. It's just like they have an issue with him. And I don't know Paul Heyman like in real life, if he ever really was around Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga when they were kids, because he was around the Anawai family. But how often was he really around Haku and his kids? He probably was, but I don't know. There's just no closeness to them. I mean, he was calling him. Now I'm going to do the whole promo. At times I'm kind of like promoed out. Like I don't like a promo heavy SmackDown or Raw or like that. But this was really great. This promo and then also AJ's later on. So it's like I'm going to go over it and bear with me, word for word, pretty much. And hopefully you don't mind. Then again, why would I care if you mind it? Because this is my channel. But I'm not saying that to be offensive. It's just the fact that I should always just focus on what I want to put out there. And if you like it, you like it. If not, that's okay too. It's your choice, guys and gals. Now, KO is in the ring, and how is Heyman going to fix this problem? That's what I was asking. Last week KO returned to SmackDown and did so all the way in Saudi. This is, KO speaking, and he wanted to show that he had Randy's back because Randy Orton has had his back for years now. And he wanted to make sure that Randy had a fair shot in the tournament, which we all know he didn't lose, referring to Orton's shoulders not being down for the count. Randy is at home recuperating, and KO's here, and he knows who is also here, and that is Solo and his little crew. Well, Heyman comes out and he spouts about serving almost 4 years as special counsel and wise man to your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and in his absence, serve as the wise man to Solo and the bloodline. It is in that capacity, Kevin Owens, that he comes out here tonight to talk to him man to man. Professional to professional, father to father, and as I think there is a mutual interest at the moment that I hope I can serve. Paul, just get in here. Get in this ring and make your point, says KO. I said get in this ring. He's all hesitating to get in there. I'd be hesitating too. I don't want to be on the receiving end of a stunner. We want Roman chants are heard as Roman speaks. Heyman speaks. I'm pretty sure people want to hear Roman speak. And then Heyman says, I don't think there is a person in this arena tonight that wants Roman here more than I do. And the crowd cheers. And here's why, continues Heyman. You keep calling Solo's name and you know Roman Reigns has great Reigns has great respect for you, and anything you went through with Roman Reigns is because he respected you and admired you, and dare I say, acknowledged you as a true threat to his championship. Solo has no respect for you, and he is recruiting these criminals into the bloodline. Roman and I turned down every new member of the bloodline. We did backstage checks on them. We didn't want these people in the bloodline representing the bloodline. Now, these are the people that you're pointing that you're picking a fight with, Kevin. These are the people that you are antagonizing that aren't even people. They aren't even people. They are bloodthirsty, sadistic thugs. You know what? No wonder Tama and Tonga Loa don't like Heyman if he keeps referring to him as thugs and, and criminals and all that stuff. I mean, they're not looking for a reason to take you out. They're looking for an excuse to take you out. And that's bad for WWE. I like you in WWE. Points to the crowd. They love you in WWE. They chant. They're like, they go ballistic. They go crazy. They cheer. And if you keep calling out Solo's name, they're going to do something really bad about it. I am asking you. I am pleading with you, Kevin Owens. I'm begging you. Back off the bloodline, please. And what is KO's response? Are you really out here acting like you want to help me? Yes, says Heyman. Really, says KO. I'm trying to help you, says Heyman. KO responds, what in the last few years would make me believe that I would ever put any trust in anything that comes out of your mouth, huh? I'm not falling for this act. You don't think? I mean, you think I don't know that this is all you? You're pulling all the strings. This is your MO. This is what you do. You went from Brock to Roman, and now Roman lost the title. And who's your next cash cow? Who's the next one to keep you relevant? Well, it's Solo. I'm not falling for it. I have that figured it out. I have that figured out. But I don't know what this little act is about. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to make sure everybody fears them? You're trying to instill fear? Guess what? I fought the bloodline for 4 years. And they gave me everything they had. They threw me off high things. They handcuffed me to those ropes, super kicked me 20 times. They hit me with a golf cart, and I'm still standing right here. And I had a great time. He says that emphatically. He loves to fight. So you know that when he gets his ass beat, he gets up and he just begs for more, right? But that was the bloodline with Roman Reigns and Jimmy and Jay Uso, guys too that I respect. That Solo and the two guys, that's not bloodline. Or that's not the bloodline. That's Solo and two guys I don't want to know. I don't care to know, and nobody wants here. The crowd erupts in cheers. Do you think for a second that I'm going to stop fighting them? Hell no. I'm going to keep fighting them. In fact, I'm going to do everything I can to get them the hell out of my world. And this is my world, he says emphatically. And the crowd erupts again. As far as your help goes, I don't want it. And I don't need it. Paul Heyman is looking, huffing and puffing. He really is just incensed. He really wants to get through KO. Because he knows that KO has a world of hurt waiting for him. But like I said, KO is a prize fighter. He welcomes that, right? And then Heyman answers and says, maybe I'm not trying to help you. Maybe I'm trying to save you. Didn't you ever think about that? Maybe you think that maybe, just maybe, I've met your kids. You've met mine, and maybe what I can't redeem myself. How many times, what I can't, oh, I said, wow, no, because now, what? I can't redeem myself? How many times have you redeemed yourself? But I can't, I mean, not Paul Heyman. Not Paul Heyman. Don't you understand what you're up against with these thugs? Why won't you understand what I'm trying to do for you right now? I am freaking Hall of Fame wise man. But no, like, let's not listen to the Hall of Fame wise man, no. Let's just sit here and think I have some vision for the future of Solo taking over the bloodline. Why won't anybody listen to me? And then, Heyman bumps into, he goes, when he does that, he goes like this to the mic, and it bumps into, like, hits KO on the chest, and it falls right at his feet or off to the side of where he's standing. And then, like I said, might I add, Paul Heyman is full of passion and teary-eyed. Either that or he didn't get a lot of sleep. But no, he definitely meant it. It looked like it was coming from a real place. Because, Paul Heyman is very respected backstage, and he loves these guys. He works with these guys. So, he put a lot of realism into it. I'm pretty sure. There is no way that wasn't coming from a real place for this promo. But then Paul Heyman, you look at him at the same time, he looks scared, and he slowly looks to get out of the ring. The "you fucked up" chants start. You hear him a few times, and then it gets muted. And then KO reacts. And then he charges the wise man, and the music of Solo plays, and the bloodline make a beeline for the ring. And it looks like they're going to do a 3-on-1 jump on him. They're going to jump him 3-1. But the Profits back up KO, and the 3-on-3 it's 3-on-3 on this time. At this time, it's 3-on-3. But soon it's the Profits who take out the Tongans, as was said about, who was the one that said that? Corey Graves. And the tag team match is on next. Now, it was brought up that the Tongans are 7-time IWGP Tag Team Champions, and that is a standing record in Japan. They may be dangerous, might I add, thugs, but they are a legit tag team. These two teams are bringing it. The match has started, and both are taking the best that the others have to offer. There's no slouches. There is no backing down. And then the Tongans are just ruthless and have great team chemistry, but of course they do. They are brothers. They are the sons of Haku. And the Profits have no chance if they continue to take this punishment from Tama, Tonga, and Tonga Loa. And this is the first time seeing Tama and Tonga for me, and Tama and Tonga Loa in tag team action, and they are the real deal. They're a great addition to the SmackDown tag team division. And then the Profits get back into it as Montez Ford sets up Tonga Loa for a double team blockbuster and nearly get the pin, if not for the last minute save from Tama Tonga. And then a blind tag to Tama sets up the Profits as Montez hits the frog splash, but Tama Tonga enters the ring and hits the flatliner smoothly. He just goes in and grabs him, bam. Montez Ford didn't see what was coming. He does that to Montez Ford and gets the 1, 2, 3, and the Bloodline pick up an impressive victory. So they're rolling. Tama Tonga continues his winning ways. His brother, Tonga Loa, picks up his first victory. Albeit tag team, but it is a victory. And we can see them. It was even mentioned that whoever wins this may be just in line for another title shot. But remember, Tomasso Ciampa pinned one half of the tag team champions. So they may have more of a claim on the number 1 contendership. Now backstage, Indy Hartwell confronts the WWE Women's Tag Champs as they're walking down backstage, and they even brought up as they're talking that they got invited to Raw by their next challengers, that being Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. And Indy tells them that y'all are going to Raw to hurt more people like you did Candice. But Bianca points out that Candice LeRae started it. And Bianca finished it. That's Bianca's style. I know that's Jade's style. You start crap, I'm going to end it. And then Jade is more than happy to put Indy right next to Candice, who's at home nursing an injury. Not too bad, but she wasn't able to come to SmackDown. And Indy, well, she's like, I didn't mean that. And then she just scoots out. But yet you started it. You talked big time to the champs, and then yet you don't expect anything. It's like that one time when Candice LeRae and Indy talking nonsense and talking, big when it came to confronting Bianca. So I guess it's okay. It's a good thing to kind of call your shots and try to stir up some shit. But hopefully Indy can back it up. Because she may have Jade next week. Now, Bayley and Naomi are up for tag team action against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I missed that because it's Alicia that's doing it. She doesn't do that. And I'm pretty sure that Chelsea Green misses it because in an interview she had with, I believe it was Chris Van Vliet, she said she absolutely loved it. Hated when they took it away from momentarily, but then they brought it back. And she was happy. And then we see another thing backstage. This is Michin. And she's asked by Kayla Braxton about her feelings about AJ's retirement or possible retirement, what his announcement is. And she steps to the queen as Nia Jax says something to Michin. And then Jax tells her she's going to regret it. I believe it was a match. 1-on-1. And then in the match, which was a very competitive match, very fun match, we see at one point Naomi hit the split-legged moonsault on Chelsea Green, but it doesn't keep her down. And on the outside, Naomi, grabs those ropes and flings herself over the top rope, and she takes out the field, her two tag team opponents. And then inside, Niven sends Naomi crashing to the mat because Naomi attempted something else, and then you see Piper Niven just knock her off the ropes, and she hits the ring mat, does Naomi. But a timely save by Bayley and a rear view by the Glow puts Chelsea down for a count. Or did it, as Piper delivers a senton and lays Chelsea over Naomi, and she gets the pin. And does this mean that Piper can get a title shot? I mean, I'm sure that Chelsea will try and finagle her way with all this. But the thing about it is, and I know there's a lot of fans of Chelsea Green and what she can do. She's a former knockout champion from TNA. And you would think that she would want to have a title for herself, but she is BFFs with Piper Niven, so I'm sure that she's looking out for her girl, and she's going to give her a shot. Because she was saying that earlier, talking to Nia Jax, that it's going to be Piper Niven that's going to be the champion that she may face in the future. But like I said, Chelsea Green is going to try to weasel her way into a title shot. But we'll see. I mean, they didn't pin the champion, but it was the tag team that Bayley was involved in. Now, speaking of matches next week, the Storm, Jade Cargill, will get Indy in the ring. Okay, Indy, you better start looking at those tapes and you better start getting ready for that match. That's the Storms are brewing and it's coming your way. And then Johnny Gargano will do battle against the other half of A-Town Down Under, and that is Grayson Waller. I'm kind of surprised because I thought they were leaning towards Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa kind of being heel, but I guess they're just being aggressive, and it wasn't about them turning. It's just the fact that they're so determined to be the tag team champions and wanting a shot. So maybe that's what that was. Maybe it's a slow turn. Maybe. We'll see. And then Apollo Crews will take on Angel from Legado. Snore. Who cares? I mean, we saw Apollo Crews attack Angel, telling him to stay out of his business and all that stuff. And I'm not, taking anything away from his talent, from his athleticism, his strength, freakish strength. A guy who really does know what he's doing in that ring. But if you're not going to be putting somebody in the ring and then all of a sudden you put them there and we're supposed to care, no. Sorry, but it's like he has to be consistent in that ring week in and week out. At least pop up in backstage interviews, maybe be in people's corners and then getting involved when the other guys are trying to double team a guy in the ring. You know what I mean? It's like that. Don't just pop him in there and go, oh, here comes Apollo Crews. I remember him. Oh, when was that? He was last year? Oh, what was that, a year ago? I only remember him when he was, what do you call it? A Nigerian prince and talking in a thick accent. That's what some people will say. You know? I remember him, he was in NXT after that, and then he came back to WWE. He did really well in NXT, should have stayed there. Because that is the developmental thing, but some of these guys who have been on the main roster need to be developed more. Let them stay there. Baron Corbin was at least a little bit better, but then they made him a loser again when he went up against Carmelo Hayes in the King of the Ring tournament, right? The qualifiers. You know, and then of course next week Solo Sikoa is going to anoint Tonga Loa. Guess make him an official member of the bloodline. Even Wade Barrett was like, I don't know what that means when it comes to anointing. You know, I got an idea, but let's wait and see. I'll let that play out. I don't want to try to explain it in my head, you know. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That he's going to make him an official member. Probably going to be much to the chagrin of the wise man. You won't know how he feels about the Haku's sons there. Now, if the rumors are true, says LA Knight to AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is, as he heads to the ring, and then LA Knight says respect, and then AJ nods back to Knight. And then we see him bump into Cody, and Cody extends his hand, and AJ shakes it, whispers something to get Cody's attention. And then he is met by the Good Brothers, is AJ. The Good Brothers, who are Gallows and Anderson, whom AJ asked to accompany him to the ring because it's only the right thing to do for them to join him. And is there a reason why I felt the Good Brothers are going to be bad and turn on Styles? He's in the ring and he starts. He goes, I got to tell you, I've been thinking on what Nook Aldis said over the past week. I dwelled on it. If I want another opportunity at Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, I would have had to go to the back of the line. He's doing his job. I understand that. And I dwelled on this and I thought about this all week. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I just can't do that at this point in time in my career. At this point in time in my life, I just can't do that. And at this time, the crowd they're either booing, not booing him, but just the idea, I've been doing this for over 2 decades, and I've been busting my body in these rings. Blood, sweat, and tears all over the world. You better believe that. All that, pausing as it's getting to Styles, crowd is cheering, and thank you, AJ chant startup. So that he's saying this and he's getting choked up, I could become phenomenal. But this past week, my son graduated high school, and I got to be there. I was kind of like calculating in. I think he was like right before junior high is when AJ signed with WWE. So you imagine that he goes from that all through junior high, high school, and then before you know it. So I'm sure for AJ it's gone real fast. Because it's like I can remember like yesterday when he debuted in WWE. Here he is, like one of the WWE legends. He's one of the guys who seemingly feels like he's been here his whole career. He just fits. He's not one of these guys that came here and you're like, oh, that's that guy from NWA. Oh, that's that guy from TNA or from Japan or something like that. We look at him like he's a guy who's been in WWE all his life. We had his graduation party, AJ continues, at my house, and so many friends and family were there, and it was literally that point. Clarity hit me upside the head. How many of these have I missed? So instead of being the phenomenal AJ Styles, maybe I stay at home and be a phenomenal father. And then he addresses the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, come here. And we see both men approach. I couldn't have done this Without you, I love you. You guys are better than friends. You are my brothers. So if we have to do this one more time, let's do it right. And all three put up their two sweet signs up in the air and embrace. But before I go, Cody, I whispered something into your ear. I asked you if you didn't mind coming out here when I called you. Well, Cody, now it's time. If you don't mind, please. And then Cody's music plays. And of course, he has to have his music play. And the crowd sings, whoa. So before I come out here to do what I gotta do, I just wanted to look you in the eyes. Or the eye. You don't look in both eyes. You always say, look you in the eye, not the eyes. Face to face and tell you I had one of the greatest matches I ever had at Backlash in Lyon, France. The crowd was electric. If I was going to have one last match, that would be it. But just so you know, this is still the house that AJ Styles built. And I called you out here to hand you the keys. Now, Cody looks off to the side, starts to get emotional. Well, we have, says Cody, only ever exchanged one text message between each other after that match in Backlash. I wanted to know if you're okay, and your response, I'm all good, little brother, or little bro. AJ breaks out in a big smile. I could say a lot about the decision you made, but what's more important is that I say this on behalf of myself, on behalf of a locker room that you were a big bro for. Thank you very much, AJ Styles. A handshake and a hug between the two icons. And of course, and I know it, Styles betrays Rhodes and clotheslines him and batters him outside the ring. And this reeks of the false retirement speech and betrayal of Mark Henry and his betrayal of John Cena. Remember that? And people were saying, man, that was such a great moment. Just to stop it from there and him actually retiring would have been perfect. But that's the way that put Mark Henry into the main event. And I wish he could have beat John Cena for the WWE title. It would have been great to have him, because he was a World Heavyweight Champion, sure, of course, 2 times, I believe. And for him to get the WWE title would have been great, but I think Cena was notorious for not putting people over. A lot of people. He put some over, but, you know, there's that thing. It's just like with Hogan, where if he had an issue with somebody, I can't do that, brother. And then he wouldn't put some people over, you know. But Styles, this is a very brutal move. While standing on the steel steps, he delivers the style clash to the floor of off of them steps, and will this move Styles now to the front of the line? Well, if not, then this is a clear message to Cody that he may have to adhere to, and then he's going to go and beg Aldis to do just that, move AJ to the front of the line. Now, that's how, you know, it ended, fade to black. My opinion is that maybe they should hold this off until SummerSlam. Suspend AJ for a month, right? You know, Aldis will do that. And then when AJ comes back, they start the program. And then SummerSlam's here. He faces Cody. Now, the thing about this is that how these guys have painted themselves in the corner. They're doing this, and it's a great swerve. It's a great way to kind of continue the feud. They added more fuel to that feud now. It was doused, but someone, you know, poured gasoline on it, and AJ just flung a match on it, and it's on fire again. But the thing about it is that is AJ going to do this, go through all of this? This is the story that they've written for him, creative, which is great. But AJ's going to go face him, probably going to do it at Crown Jewel or at Bash at Berlin. And then what's going to happen? Or whatever. What's the next pay-per-view, right? I think it's Crown Jewel. But what's going to happen? Is he going to lose again? AJ's going to lose, and then what? I could see them pulling the trigger and letting AJ beat Cody at SummerSlam. That's a big event, of course, we know. And that would be a perfect place to do it. You know? Because AJ would deserve it. I wouldn't mind seeing AJ beat Cody. He's one of the guys that I could see him beat Cody, and it would be something. You know? But he made himself the uber heel. He made himself the hated heel. No one's gonna want to watch that. You know, they're not gonna want to see AJ beat. Not slighting AJ, because AJ is a great performer. But as a heel, you know, people are gonna get with the program, and they're not gonna like him, boo him because he's the heel. But at the same time, they may have made a mistake by doing this, because it's like AJ has to win. You're gonna do this, and he's gonna lose again. It's like with Nakamura. When Nakamura always talks all this crap about his opponent or someone he's stalking, and he's talking big, and he's gonna take this guy out, stuff like that, and then he loses. All that build up for nothing. They're gonna do that with AJ. All the build up for nothing. I hope not. He deserves better. You know. Maybe if they would have done a thing where there's respect, and then he goes to, you know, what do you call it, say that I want a championship match, and win or lose, I'm going to retire. So he's either going to lose and then retire, or he's going to go out on top, have the championship and retire, and then they're going to, you know, have a tournament or whatever to crown a new champion. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to give, what do you call it, a long reign. Maybe this is AJ's way of saying, I'm leaving, but there's no love between us. No love lost between us. I'm going to emphatically make my, you know, point, and I'm going to exit WWE and go into retirement, sending a message. I don't know. That could be it too. Maybe something won't come out of this, but them doing this and going through all this trouble, why would they not have something come out of this? But they're gonna have to wait to see how it plays out. There was no mention of anything next week. You might have something happen over the week, maybe an announcement on X or something like that, or like whatever. Maybe on Raw they're gonna say something that AJ is going to address, or maybe Cody's gonna address that attack. But we'll see. But I really enjoyed SmackDown. Very, very good edition. A very good episode of SmackDown. They're really doing their thing and continuing the storylines that's going to take us into the next pay-per-view. I gotta look that up. What is the next pay-per-view? I think it's Crown Jewel. In my mind, I'm thinking Crown Jewel already happened. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm drunk with pay-per-views and PLEs, because last week we had two. Saturday was WWE, and then Sunday was AEW, Double or Nothing. So, but anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. As always, please click like and share and comment and subscribe, and also click the bell icon, the notification button, so that whenever I upload a video, you will see that there's one ready for you. But anyway, like I said, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And until next time, take care, and I will see you in my next video.